Annette.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So for anyone who's watching in, Annette is effortlessly cool, but she's also wearing the sunglasses because it's super bright. We're
Yes.
sitting on the rooftop of the Artemis Hotel in Swakopmund in Namibia. We've spent a whole month together. We've been on all kinds of adventures. We've gotten to know each other. So for anyone watching, Annette, tell us a little bit about who you are, your name, what you do, where you're from.
Sure. Thank you for the opportunity to share. Well, I'm Annette Margolis, and I'm born and raised in San Francisco. Very proud of that, in California, in the USA. And I am a dog mom. I am a best friend to many, and I'm a giver. That's who I am.
I love that.
Thank you.
And I think like that kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about before we turned the cameras on, which was there have been a number of people who you've invited to come and visit you in San Francisco. And we were saying you need to get a house with more bedrooms.
Yeah.
Because we're all coming to hang out with Annette.
I would take you all in if I could and do a chapter just in San Francisco.
We should do a pets chapter. That would be cool.
That would be so cool.
Right?
I would love to bring Tyson. Tyson is my huge doggy. Just so you can see him. I don't know if anyone else can see him, but he's a big boxer pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a good boy. Yeah, and so I would love to do that. I love to host, you know. I think that's been like a central theme throughout my life.
Yep.
And I've always worked in hospitality in one way or another. And I just think San Francisco is a very special place. And I know it's very expensive and there's some iconic bits about it, but there's so much more to it that I love to show people.
I would love to experience that. So I'll talk to Celine.
Yes.
And we'll see
she's already on board. She's actually signed up already, so you might need to.
There's a roster?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've been together for a month. You've done some other chapters.
I've done one, yes.
You've done one other chapter.
Yes.
So this is your second chapter. You've had that experience. You've had this experience. For anyone watching, from your point of view, what even is WiFi Tribe?
That's a great question. I don't think it's a cult for anyone watching.
Let's just be really clear about that.
Yeah, let's be very honest. I don't think it's a cult, although I am susceptible to cults.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
so just in case. But
we paid her to say that it's not a cult.
exactly,
Yeah.
That's fine. What is WiFi Tribe? I think it's a community above all.
Yeah.
And so I would say it's a community of like-minded people who can work remotely and choose to spend time together, working, adventuring, laughing, helping one another, and just trying to experience life, you know, somewhat to the fullest.
I love that. That sums it up really beautifully. And you've been on the previous chapter. Where in the world was that?
That was in Buenos Aires,
Okay.
in Argentina, over a year ago. So that was in October of 2024, and we're currently, wow, it's now March, right? We just turned the corner on March. Vroom, vroom.
Someone revving their engine.
Yeah. And so it's been over a year since, you know, from chapter to chapter. And actually it's because I met such good friends, people that I just clicked with and that I wanted to spend more time with on the first chapter. And so we took, I think, 3 trips together last year.
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't even do one chapter last year.
You made your own chapters.
We made our own chapters, exactly. And I met a lot of very cool people, 3 of which were here last month.
Oh, wow.
So I missed them just by a little bit. And then, you know, thinking about this chapter, I really wanted to experience Namibia with a group.
Yeah.
In this environment where you're all helping each other, you're looking out for each other, you don't have to do all the planning.
Yes, yes.
Like, I'm a planner, I love to plan, but I don't want to do all of it.
Yeah.
And now that I'm on the back end of it, because, you know, this is my last day, actually, of chapter, I am so grateful for the people here who plan some of the big weekend trips.
So, I mean, you must have had this conversation on the last chapter with friends and family, but I think it's a common thing that we as tribers have to kind of navigate is like our friends and family are asking us like, Annette, what is a chapter? Like, How do you describe it to your friends and family?
Yes, and how do I describe it to work? I will tell you also, because they don't
Important.
love it, but they try to
Mm-hmm.
understand. So,
Mm-hmm.
so with friends and family, I say I'm a very extroverted person. I get energy from being around others. I love the community vibe. My
Yeah.
friends know I'm always trying to make them live with me in co-housing. But yeah, so I would say the chapter is, we're all working
Yeah.
professionals.
Yeah.
The ages span, I don't know the exact ages, but I think 20-ish to like 40 maybe ish. And it's a wide variety, people from all over the world, which is very cool. And I think the main thing is that we all have jobs or we're actively pursuing something that takes our time.
Yeah.
Because there's a really big difference between being on vacation,
Yeah.
being on a holiday, and being on a working holiday.
Yeah.
And I think what I really appreciate about Wi-Fi Tribe is that we all we care a lot about each other, and so we make sure that there is a quiet place to work. The Wi-Fi is great,
Yep.
but then on the weekends we all want to adventure. So what is, it's hard to say exactly what it is in like a sentence or two, but it's a group of people that work remotely. They grind really hard during the week, and then on the weekend we shut our laptops close, you know what I mean, and we just go for it.
Have an adventure, explore, see what there is to see.
Exactly, yeah. And I think during the week too, there's all these conversations that happen, in the kitchen, over a meal, walking to the beach, just, taking a fitness class, working on your shelf like we did today.
Yeah.
I took a line dancing class today that someone hosted, right? So
Yep.
I think when you have a lot of different personalities and people from all walks of life, it can be really beautiful when those people want to share with one another.
And you're always learning something from other
Always,
people.
yeah. And if you want to hole up, if you're, I'm extroverted, but if you are introverted, I think, make sure you get a private room, and then you can just calm when you want to be calm and be social when you want to be social. Because I don't want introverts to shy away from this experience.
Yeah, there's definitely room for anyone with any sort of disposition to be at home, perfectly at home in this environment.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, completely agree with you. So speaking of anyone with any disposition, who would you say that this is really for? Like, what kind of person would thrive in a Wi-Fi Tribe environment?
I would say someone who cares about others,
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
I would say someone who has a sense of adventure, because we're always trying new foods, we're always going to new landscapes, maybe a hike that's challenging, but and then I would say someone who's just motivated by something. It doesn't have to be your day job, it doesn't have to be your side hustle, but something. There's got to be a fire in there, because I think the people that you will meet here and the experiences that you have here will really stoke that and help bring that out.
Yep.
So I think that you stand to gain a lot if you come in with an open mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you were thinking about joining Wi-Fi Tribe, like you were maybe traveling, you'd maybe done some group travel, some co-living, or some solo travel. Did you have any hesitations in joining?
I did not. I'm a jump right in with both feet kind of person. I've lived my life that way forever. So I personally did not. I actually was craving living with people again, because my whole life I had lived with others.
Yeah.
And then the last several years in San Francisco, when I bought a home, like, it was very exciting, but it's also a little bit
isolating.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a little isolating. And so I missed having roommates. So in San Francisco, maybe this is not the norm a lot of places, but it's quite expensive. And so when you're younger, and maybe even when you're older, you'll get a place together. And the place I had, there were 5 bedrooms.
Wow.
So there were 5 of us that lived there. Wow. And we did things like we went and chopped down a Christmas tree together on a farm and decorated it, or just had dinners, and there's always someone to talk to in the hallway. So, going from college, university to that, to then, living with a boyfriend for a little bit, and then living on my own with just my dog, I really missed the community vibe. So no, I had no hesitations.
No hesitations.
And honestly, I didn't know much about it. I didn't know anyone who had actually done a chapter.
Wow.
And I've never done any group travel with strangers. Only with my friends.
Yes.
And certainly not for a month.
So why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you?
Well, I just thought it was incredible. I mean, I love the idea. So the first reason I did my chapter, I mean, the first chapter I ever did, I had just gone through a breakup. You know, I was a remote person anyway. Like my job was remote. I could go anywhere, and I love to travel anyway. But I thought, well, let me go somewhere where I can really experience the culture.
Yeah.
And I'm a city person, born and raised in a city, so I chose a city chapter, which was Buenos Aires. And I was like, worst comes to worst, I can always just experience the city. But that's not the case. And I met so many wonderful people.
So much so that you went on your own chapters.
We did.
Invented chapters. Where did you guys go? What did you do?
We did. So I didn't know that Cape Town was a place where a lot of people travel to.
Yeah.
I didn't know that because I'm not in the nomad world, right?
Yeah.
And so at the end of that chapter, a bunch of people were talking about how they were going to Cape Town in March. So we were there in October, and a bunch of people were like, yeah, we're going February, March. And I was like, oh, it's summer there then. Like, I like that idea. And then so something we do in Wi-Fi Tribe, we use Slack to communicate. So if people don't know what Slack is, you know, it's an online tool with a lot of chat rooms and things like that.
Was this February 2025?
I was there, yeah, last year.
I met you at the picnic.
Did you?
Yeah, we met at the picnic at one of those wine farms.
Okay.
In Constantia, yeah. There was like a whole big picnic.
Okay, yeah.
I think
that's amazing.
There's a photo of us.
Okay, I have to see that photo because I feel so bad if I don't remember. But
I was like, you seem so familiar. I must have met you somewhere before.
That's crazy.
I couldn't put the two and two together, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's the thing that I love about Cape Town is everyone's there. I mean, you are from there, born and raised, claim to fame, humble brag. Okay, that's very cool. But the chat just started popping off, right? It was like we were in this chat and it was like popcorn. Someone would be like, I booked it, and everyone else was like, I booked it, and then the memes came in and everyone was like, I booked it, and all of a sudden like 10 of us had booked it.
Yep.
And so that was the first one.
Yep.
Cape Town. And then after Cape Town, we wanted to do Euro summer. And so we all met in Croatia, and we did a road trip from Croatia, like around Croatia.
Wow.
We did some hiking.
Wow.
And then they continued on to Albania, and I went home. And then in, is it September, October? Around then. So a year from when we first all went together, we went to Oaxaca for Day of the Dead.
Mexico,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was an incredible experience. There were also a ton of other people from Wi-Fi Tribe there that I got to meet. And then I actually met Reezy there. Okay. And Reezy was on this chapter.
Yep.
And then my roommate here, Sophia, did a chapter with people that I know. So it's really nice to have all those connections. Yeah.
You feel like this sense of like connectedness even before you arrive in the place.
Totally. Yeah. And then when you leave too, you always think like, okay, well, wherever I go in the world, I think maybe someone else might be up to join me. Yeah. That's the one thing that I've really learned from here is that you can just put an idea into the chat and someone will be like, yeah, I'm down for that. Like you're with 30 people. Yep. So the odds are pretty good that and I like the idea of like putting yourself out there.
And it doesn't matter how crazy the idea is. There's always someone who's like, that sounds like my kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I attended a Skillshare about Nicolas Cage, the actor. So I never thought that was on my 2026 bingo card, but I enjoyed it.
That was Tom.
That was Tom, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Speaking of adventure, let's talk a little bit about our time in Swakopmund.
Okay.
We've had this absolutely adventure-filled month. We've done 3 big weekend trips. I'm interested in how you experienced them. So take me through the weekend trips, through your eyes from Palmvag to the other ones that we did. What happened? What did we get up to? What did it feel like?
Thank you for the opportunity to go through these memories already. Like, they feel kind of far away.
It does feel far away. Hey?
Yeah, because the month is so compact and accelerated. So I got in a little bit late. Yep. So I missed the first weekend trip.
You missed the first weekend trip.
But I was so excited for the other 2.
Yep.
So the first one I went on, which was the second one, was Spitskope. which is just this incredible landmark here. And you drive for several hours, and then just out of the desert rises this incredible like boulder or series of boulders that you're just like, where did this come from?
It looks otherworldly.
It's just so beautiful. And to be there, your phone doesn't work, you're just, we're all on the walkie-talkies because we have to take several cars there. And so something about that weekend was that I volunteered to be on the food crew.
Yes.
So even though that we're signing up, we pay Wi-Fi Tribe for our accommodation and to provide the infrastructure, we don't pay Wi-Fi Tribe to plan things. So this is not a, buy it and forget it. Like, you are actively engaged, which I also like, And so I volunteered for the food crew. And so I got to know some people that, I wasn't as close to before. We planned it, we did the shopping together, we had our own little Slack channel, and it felt really good to provide something, for the group that week. So my contribution was PB&J sandwiches. Yeah.
Nice.
Easy, simple, classic, and a crowd pleaser.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We did enjoy them. It was super hot. Do you remember how hot it was?
It was so hot, yes. So we were just all looking for shade. I will say I was glamping. Oof. I know that you were camping.
Yep.
And I love glamping. That's the other thing. Is like, I think there are options for everyone.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the most fit triathlon, decathlon like person, although there are people like that on the chapter. And there's a hike for every fitness level, like, every price point, every comfort level. So I also really appreciate that because I just recently gave away all my camping gear because that chapter of my life is closed.
You've had enough camping.
Yeah. I like a nice mattress.
Just some comfort.
Some little comfort, yeah. I like a view with a side of comfort. But it was fun, and like I love that we had someone who was kind of like herding the cats, like letting us know, here's the itinerary, this is what we're doing. But then it's really up to you to make the most of it, right? Yeah. So if you want to go on a side quest to go see the arch or another, go wade in the pool, that the very small pool. And something else I liked is that I think that people on these chapters I find to be quite curious and like care about history and the people and the land that we're visiting. Yeah. So it's not just, I think nomading gets, rightfully so, sometimes a bad name because there are certain people who maybe want to take. But that's not the case that I've experienced with Wi-Fi Tribe. I think we like to give back in ways that we can. So we took a guided kind of walk. I would say it wasn't really a hike, over to some really cool paintings that were done by the local tribes, thousands of years ago. And we learned just about their process for it, their thinking, and how they lived off the land. And it was quite interesting. So that was one of the highlights, I would say, from that weekend as well.
It was a beautiful time there. I was surprised about, the materials that they used to produce those paintings, the blood and the egg yolk from the ostrich egg, and how they sealed it off and where they chose to paint so that it wouldn't get sun damaged or rain damaged. Amazing.
Yeah, incredibly smart.
Yeah, intelligence that went into how they planned for those things to last thousands of years.
That's just something about the desert that I took away from both weekend trips, is that the people who, like, the desert is beautiful and scary. Yeah. Maybe equal parts for me. Yes. Because it is so harsh. And that if you're not prepared, it could just take you away, kind of. But there's so many people that have learned how to steward the land and live off the land. And yeah, I was blown away by that.
Do you have any core memories from this trip? Things that you'll look back on in like 15 or 20 years time and you'll be like, oh my God, that was amazing.
Yes, for sure. The hike up to the Dune 45 in Sossusvlei is a core memory unlocked for me. I think for me it was because, first of all, we woke up very early.
Yeah, super early.
Super early, and we were staying at a very nice lodge, so it was hard to rip ourselves away. And there's just a little sense of adventure. You don't really know what you're getting yourself into. I didn't know how far we were walking or hiking and any of that. But we just all did it together, which was beautiful. And so we start in the dark, and I had big pack on because I didn't know what was going to happen, if I was going to be hungry at the top or what. I had my little camelback. And we start walking, and already I'm like, okay, these were not the right shoes. So I take the shoes off, and I'm, hiking up this ridge with my bare feet, and I can just feel the sand, and it feels so good. It's like not something I do normally, right, every day. And it's challenging. I was like, wow, this is Stairmaster elevated on crack.
Yeah.
And you just hear every 2 or 3 minutes, people are like, woo, this is challenging.
Yeah. And it goes on and on and on. It was really far in the end.
It was really far because, it's almost like the mirage where you think things are closer, but then they keep going. And then, so that it was challenging, and challenging in a good way, in a way that once you get to the top, like you feel like you've earned it.
Yeah.
And you have a little bit of the endorphins from exercising.
Yeah. And the sun is
just rising. Yeah. And it feels like you were meant to be in that spot with these people in this moment. And that's something I'll never forget.
What's a moment on this adventure, this chapter, where you felt a really strong sense of community?
It's a good question. I think for me, there's like small moments of it and bigger moments. And so the bigger moments, I would say, making sure we don't leave anyone behind. Truly. I heard some people have before. And making sure people have gas. I wasn't on that trip where cars ran out of gas, and they were like very worried. But making sure, we do that for folks, making sure everyone has water, just really basic things. But those are the bigger ones. But the smaller moments are just like the other night. Someone said, hey, I'm going to go eat. I said, great, I'll meet you there. She didn't even end up going in the end. And then, but someone else had messaged and said, I'm so exhausted. Could you please bring me something back? And I was like, of course. And so just the give and take we have for each other, I think is really nice. I'm trying to think what other moments of community there are. I think for me also a memory would be when we were all cooking together to prep for the camping trip. Because we just had different stations set up.
With Chef Brian.
Chef Brian at the helm, vegan, bad vegan. And
bad vegan.
Yeah. That's his nickname. But he's a very good vegan. And he made such an amazing meal that and you were Bry Master. Sorry we pushed you into that, but you did very well.
Thank you.
And it was that was a nice memory of just we're all working together. We all have something to do. We're laughing. We're trying to hear over one another because the walk-in, we're in a hotel. So we have a commercial kitchen downstairs, which is really cool experience. Yeah. But the walk-in refrigerator is so loud.
Yeah.
So we crank the music up, and we're all laughing, and I think that was a good moment.
Beautiful, beautiful. Do you have any future travel plans with Tribers? Any future chapters you're going on? Any Annette chapters that you're making up with Tribers?
Yes. I'm always traveling, I think. So right after this, tomorrow, I leave and I go to Cape Town, and I'm so excited. And actually, I'm there for 3 or 4 weeks. I haven't decided yet. I don't have
I'll see you there.
Return ticket. I will see you there. And if you can believe it or not, all my weekends are already full. We already have a social calendar, and literally I've booked everything. A boat, brands.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty great. Biking through the wineries,
Wow.
Cape Town is incredible. There's no shortage of things to do.
It is an adventure station.
Yeah. So I'm already thinking about my bank account, but I think it'll be okay. So after that, then I go home because I don't nomad full time. So, I own a home in San Francisco. I have a dog in San Francisco. And I like to see the children when I'm there. I work for a basketball and leadership nonprofit. And so what I do is fully remote. I help them with operations and administrative tasks. But when I'm there, I like to connect in person. So I'll be there for some of our camps. And then who knows where the world will take me. I am turning 40 in June of this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You don't often hear someone say congratulations, and I really like that.
Yeah, it's a moment. You've come to a place where there's something new to discover. It's like, I think we always have this negative perspective on age. But I'm like, how amazing that you've got that life behind you and that life ahead of you. Like,
I couldn't agree more. Like,
so
I do
incredible.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited. So I don't know exactly what I'm doing. All of my friends turned 40, so it's a milestone birthday.
Wow.
We have a very tight group
Yeah.
of 10 women that we've known since high school.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Some from middle school, some from elementary school.
Wow.
I don't know if Cape Town is like that. Like, it's quite small in the end.
Yeah. I have, two friends that I still consider some of my closest friends. We met in grade 1. So we would have been 6 years old.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah. So I've known them,
You've
20,
just gone
20
through
plus years.
so many stages of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, a couple of them visited me. Well, not really visited me, but they kind of, in Buenos Aires when I was there. And I was actually so worried about it because it was my first chapter. And the first weekend, I had guests in town. They didn't stay with me, but still. And I thought, oh, I really want to protect this space of meeting people and all of that. But in the end, it was perfect. And I did Wi-Fi Tribe things. And then, honestly, they became part of the tribe. So they were embraced
You
that
just
weekend.
adopted them.
Yeah, the whole chapter just adopted them for that weekend.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So what else is happening in my life this year? So my times that I like to travel are when we don't have too many events with work, would be September, October.
Okay.
And honestly, those are some of the best months around the world.
Yep.
So there's no limit or there's no shortage of places to go. So if you have any recommendations for chapters.
Bolivia.
Bolivia.
Bolivia's happening this year, September.
Okay.
And it's 10 years of Wi-Fi Tribe. So the first ever chapter we did was in Bolivia 10 years ago. And we're bringing it full circle. We'll be in Bolivia again, 10-year anniversary. It's his actual family home.
Right.
So
Hashtag better in Bolivia.
Oh man, if I can be there, I'll be there. I think everyone who's part of the tribe who can get a spot on that chapter needs to.
It's gonna be a big deal.
It's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing, is that I love the idea of some, like a local family.
Yeah.
And people who really have roots in the area.
Yeah.
Extending their hospitality. That's very special.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Well, that's ask and you shall receive.
Bear it in mind.
Yeah.
see what comes up for you.
That's actually another thing about the tribe, is that, even if I told this to Diego and he was like, oh, that's a great quote, is that even if I didn't have plans to travel, I would probably keep my subscription active just for the wealth of knowledge that you can get from the Slack community.
Yes.
I've done everything from finding my therapist that will, treat you when you're in different countries, to there's an AI learning club. Like, there's just the gamut of interests and things.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's quite unique in that way. And there really is like a bond with people, because you just kind of instantly trust them.
Yeah.
And everyone's so open to sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you need to know something, you just drop it in chit chat.
Yes.
Guys, I need to know whatever, and someone will know something about it and be able to help you, on your way, which is really beautiful. I think we don't have a lot of spaces in this modern world that we live in where, you can put your hand up and ask for help, or, ask for information and get it from a source that you trust.
I agree. Yeah,
so
100%.
It's a really beautiful
people have their
resource.
work networks or maybe their family networks, but it just does not have the coverage that we have in the tribe. So,
what's a belief that you have about life and work that you feel like we all share in Wi-Fi Tribe? That's maybe a common belief we hold.
I might get the saying wrong, but I think it's, I work to live, I don't live to work. And I think I have that right, because it's like, one is a means to an end, right? It's not the entire thing.
Yeah.
And so for me personally, like, I love what I do. If I had $10 million tomorrow, I would still probably volunteer and do what I do. But at the end of the day, this is where I want to be. This is like what I want to be experiencing. And I think everyone else here feels the same way.
Wow, that was succinct.
Thank you.
I love the way you put it. I think it's interesting to have asked many people that question and to have sat here and heard the diversity of answers that emerged from such a simple question. Some people talk about like-mindedness. Some people talk about an underlying interest or curiosity about the local culture. Some people talk about a care or an empathy for another person and the bond that gets created between people because of that.
Wait, those are all good answers.
Yeah, they're all, and yours is a great answer too. I think you've summarized something that was maybe a missing piece of the puzzle based on the answers that other people came up with. So it's quite amazing, you know, like I feel like I'm doing a giant jigsaw puzzle of what moves different members for different reasons.
Yes, yeah. I love your job. I think it's very cool.
I do too, fortunately. So
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, it's a great privilege to be able to do it. What are the kinds of people that you meet in WiFi Tribe on Chapter?
Good question. So many ways to answer this. I just find people are so interesting. I think you find that people are really, really killing it in life.
Yeah.
Most people.
Yeah.
Like very driven. I'm constantly impressed at people where they're like, oh yeah, I'm VP of this, or and you're like, you're how old? Or, you know, like
Adi.
Yeah, Adi is very interesting. No, I love him. And just, you know, and I also want to say, like, you hear people, because you get to know people, and then you hear their work voice sometimes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
some people, you know, work for themselves. They
Sophia.
are who they are. Sophia, my roommate. I love her corporate voice.
Yeah.
I told her that day one. She's
Yeah.
like, do I? And everyone turned around and said, you do.
Yep.
Girl, you do.
The minute she joins a call,
yeah,
it's like turns on.
Turns it on, yeah, and I love it. You know, it would put me at ease too in a meeting.
Yeah.
But there's that. I just think, you know, the curiosity, and I think there's also a lot of people that are doing good in the world,
Yeah.
whether that's through their company or, you know, their side hustle or just volunteerism. Like, I do find quite a lot of people that's a common thread.
Yes. Yes.
And then I would say there are quite a few people that are techies.
Yep.
You know, because that affords you to work remotely. But then there are people who are not. Like, I was in tech for a long time, and now I work for a children's basketball, very much a in-person type of thing.
Yep.
And oh, wait, I have to tell you about this connection.
Yep.
So, as you know, I work for Empower Me Academy, children's basketball. So about a month, maybe a month and a half before I came here, our organization was introduced to another organization across the country in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. And, you know, we had a meeting with their executive director. We learned all about them, and they're incredibly inspiring. They're who we want to be in like 5 years, right? We want to get our own facility. Right now we go around saying, please, can we have some gym space? And so we're thinking about how can we raise money and how can we do that? Because it's a huge undertaking.
I can imagine.
And so it was so wonderful to be connected with this organization, and we talked to the executive director, and for him to just be so open and honest. And one thing that stayed with me from this kind of open interview we did with him was, I said, well, how did you do this? You know, if you're all basketball people or, you know, maybe operations people, but how did you raise $46 million to open your own center?
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, when you're serving underprivileged folks, right? Like, who is doing that? And so, and his answer was, we hired really young, smart, and hungry people to work here, and they killed it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just love that answer. Okay, so now fast forward. I'm here, like maybe it's the first week I'm here. We're doing calls, and I get off a call, and David starts talking to me, and he was like, "Oh, what do you do? You know, what do you work for?" And so we start talking, and he says, "You know, I think that it sounds a lot like this other organization that I interned at when I was young." And David is from Philadelphia, right? And I was like, oh, cool. And he was like, what's the name of it? And I was like, honestly, I don't remember. It was like I couldn't think of it in the moment. And then I showed him our Instagram. And he was like, yeah, you're, exactly like them. And he showed me their Instagram. And I was like, that was the company. That was the organization.
Wow.
He's like, no way. Absolutely not. And he was like, who did you speak with? And then I looked up my email and I said the director's name. He was like, that is my mentor.
Wow.
So we're halfway around the world in Namibia. And just the connections are, I almost have to say, like, for me, like, it feels almost spiritual, right? Like it was meant to be, some sort of kinetic energy.
David would say the same thing.
He would, yes. And I love that about him.
Yeah, he's such a lovely person.
Yeah.
And such a big heart. So much love.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one who, kind of carried the torch. Last chapter, they had engaged with a local charity, Promised Land, about visiting, but then I think for whatever reason couldn't make it out there.
Yes.
So he picked up the torch, and we went, was that last week now? Wow.
They went again today.
They went again today, yeah. And I picked up some supplies for them on the way, and it was just so nice. Yeah, I love that he organized that, because that also was a highlight of my time here, I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, today we're sitting here, it's nearly the end of chapter, but it's a weekday.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have the sense that traveling with so many other people, they might lose their sense of personal agency. So I'm curious, from your perspective, what does day-to-day life on chapter look like?
Yes, great question. For me, I'm in a shared room, and so it starts and ends with my roomie. And we, I think, just had really good communication from the beginning. So we talked about like the lighting preferences and like how deep of a sleeper are you and all these things. I think people sometimes worry about those things. But anyway, so we start and end our day together usually, which I love. And we throw on music and we get ready. And sometimes we're not even getting ready at the same time. But then for me personally, I like to go to the gym in the morning before I even have breakfast. So I will throw in the chat, because we have a fitness channel, and I'll just say, hey, I'm grabbing a Yango, which is the local taxi here, in 15, meet in the lobby if you want to go. And then boom, I'll walk downstairs and there are people, and sometimes there aren't. And that's just how it goes. So I'll go to the gym, come back, shower, and then usually I'll check the co-working channel and see where people are working from. Because even though we have a lovely co-working space here, it's quite nice. I like the aesthetic to go to a coffee shop.
Yep.
And so I know your favorite, Slow Town.
Slow Town.
Also my favorite.
Yep.
And I love that when you go there, there's no fewer than 6 drivers there.
Yep.
At any given moment. And everyone knows our name. We know all the staff. Like, they know our orders at this point.
Yep.
So yes, I love Slow Town. And that's just 2 blocks from us.
Yes.
So I will usually do that a little bit. But honestly, I kind of take each day as it comes, because I work Pacific hours, West Coast hours in San Francisco. And so my day, like my first meeting is not until 8 p.m. here. Oof. Which is crazy, but I love it. Yeah. Because for me, it's like my boss wakes up very early. So when I'm home, I wake up to just a wall of texts and pings and emails. And here I can have a full day like this and then just start to think about my work day, which I find to be very soothing and how I want to live my life. Yeah. And also, he is early, so I can work East Coast hours if I want. So I can start I usually start around 4 and I end around midnight. And for me, that works really well.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, at least you're not working like 10 to 4 in the night.
Oh, yeah.
That would be brutal.
Yeah, I think, you have to think about that when you sign up for a chapter. Yeah. Yeah. And one thing is, there are a lot of varied schedules and stuff, but usually there is at least 1 or 2 other people on the chapter working your hours. Yes. So you're not completely alone.
You can buddy up.
Yeah, because I will say sometimes there's a little FOMO if everyone's like going to dinner and you're like, I have a meeting, or but then, the early birds will do something in the morning. Yeah. So I often will go to brunch, go to different cafes with people. I had a cooking spell where I was, for a couple of weeks I was cooking. Nice. And then that faded away. And now towards the end of chapter, it's kind of nice just to go out with
Indulge
people.
A little.
Yeah, and trying different places. And what are some other things I've done during the day? For me, I like the novelty. I like not having a routine when I'm here. Besides the gym, I love just having my day unfold in a way that feels good.
Yeah. What surprised you about Swakopmund?
It surprised me how the weather surprised me, and also the deep Germanic roots.
That's something that's come up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that there was a genocide here beforehand, before coming here, I should say. And something that me and some other tribers did was we sought out the local genocide museum by a descendant of a survivor of the genocide, and we learned so much about it. And I think it's important to learn the history, especially of a place that you are inhabiting even for a month. So that was interesting. I would say, what else surprised me? The weather too, because I thought it was going to be hot, 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 like our weekend trips are when we go in the desert. And actually, it's quite cool. You can see the breeze. And right now we're being blessed with some afternoon sun, but
Yep.
often like the fog will actually roll in the afternoon, which is interesting and quite different than I thought. And I actually love it after coming back from a weekend trip where
True.
it's boiling hot. Yeah,
It's nice to you look forward to it almost. It's like a reprieve from that heat,
definitely. Yes.
because it can be unbearable out in the desert. Who would you recommend Swakopmund food to? Like what kind of person thrives in this destination?
Yeah. Let's see. I would say someone who likes a little bit of the slower life,
Yeah.
because you're not really going out crazy and partying, and things close quite early here. And I think someone who likes to walk everywhere. It's very easily walkable. There's a beautiful path right in front. You can jog. Other things. What else? Someone, yeah, who enjoys cafe culture, because there's quite a few good ones here. And then, are you just talking about the city or the chapter?
The place, the chapter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for the chapter, I think it's someone who really wants to experience Namibia and all of the beautiful adventures, but maybe thinks it's a bit daunting to do on their own, or can't take 2 or 3 weeks off work to do it kind of properly all at once.
That makes sense. That makes sense. What do I need to know about you, like context about who's Annette? What's Annette about? Where's she from? To understand why you're here and why you chose Namibia.
Wow, such a deep question. For me, I think that, I'm an only child, born and raised in a city, and I think that I've grown up in a way that has sparked a lot of resilience in who I am. And so I wanted to just challenge myself in a way to come somewhere that is not just easy, because I do think that life in certain places, I'm not saying it's always easy, but you can miss the harder parts, right? You just go, you sit at a cafe, you just whatever. And I just wanted more adventure. And so that's why I'm here. And also, I needed to come back to Africa because it is an incredible, incredible continent. And I've only barely scratched the surface. This is only my second country on this continent. So I will be back. What else about me? I think that for me, I was missing the tribe. I was missing the community. I love my friends back home, and we do a lot of things together. And I even have a group with some folks in my neighborhood. So I do have a ton of community, but there's just something different when you're traveling.
Yes.
Thank you for making sure that bird did not land on me or something else.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful answer. Yeah, it is the kind of place that has the kind of extremes that makes you appreciate the conveniences of San Francisco, or where you might have found yourself growing up. And I can totally relate to what you're saying. I grew up in a nice part of Cape Town. So again, like very first world in many ways.
Exactly. Yeah, I just like seeing different ways of living. But I will say, I also do like a little bit of bougie in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't. So that's another thing, is like I like how you can kind of slide your budget up or down depending, right? You can go to a nice restaurant one day, or you can decide to cook at home the other day. And I think there's just room for everyone's budget on WiFi Tribe.
Absolutely. What are the kinds of people that you love being around?
I love just fun, giggly, adventurous, open-minded, silly people because I actually am more on the serious side, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, I love that you're surprised at
Doesn't
by
come
that.
across.
No, I
Not to
think
say that you're not serious, just you
I'm a
have
very unserious person. No, but I would say, yeah, no, I think I'm just very literal sometimes, you know. And so when you meet someone like Addie or who else, David, Tony is a jokester, Brian,
Yeah, real jokester. Yeah.
real jokester. It's just like fun, you know. And I like that. It's like having like a pack of brothers. And I didn't grow up with brothers, and so I kind of love that.
Yeah, they keep it light.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
It-
then I have my deep, you know, chats with my roomie, our pillow talk at night. Yeah, so I think it's just a good mix of folks.
Beautiful. And yeah, this is your second chapter. You've come to the end of your second chapter. Would you say that your life has changed in any way before and after doing chapters? And if it has, what might the change have been?
Has it changed? I think for me, it's opened the door. It's actually cemented the feeling that I've had for a long time that I actually didn't articulate within myself, that I want to have this life where I am somewhat semi-nomadic. And like, that's really not the point, being nomadic, but it's just that there's so many beautiful places in the world with amazing people that I want to keep going back to. And so it's really opened my eyes that that's possible, because I think I grew up, you know, to two parents that had never left the country. You know, I mean, the US is a big country, but they had never left, maybe gone across the border, you know, to Canada, but not really. And it just wasn't something in their purview, I think, growing up. And so I just feel extremely lucky. And the idea that I can, you know, this big asset I have in San Francisco, I can let others experience it. Like, there's someone in my home right now while I'm here. And the idea of home sharing and living in community is something I always knew that I gravitated towards, but it was maybe a little more taboo, I think, or like people just thought it was maybe a bit odd. But after doing these chapters, it's really helpful to know, like, no, that is what I want to do. There's a name for it. There's people who love to do it. There's whole companies built around it. And I can continue doing it.
Last question for you.
Okay.
Is there anything, if you think about your experience over this last period of time here in Swakopmund, that you would specifically like to express gratitude for?
Yes, that's a beautiful question. I am extremely grateful for the people that I've met here and the experiences that I've had, specifically going to a nearby village and getting to interact with them and understanding their like daily life, and just like kids are kids anywhere in the world, you know, and seeing that firsthand was really beautiful. Also, the experiences of going into the desert, I think, have changed me quite literally forever. We were talking about it before, but there's just something beautiful in the duality of something being so beautiful and so harsh at the same time. So I'm really grateful to have experienced that.
Beautiful. Annette, thank you so much for coming and talking to me today.
Thank you so much.
It was lots of fun to connect with you and catch up with you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in Cape Town.
Cape Town and San Francisco.
And San Francisco.
Yes.
So we can meet Tyson.
Yes. We will have a great time.
Okay.
Thank you
Amazing.
so much.
Thank you so much.
This is cool.